companies don't know about banks. Please join me in welcoming Jeff Yellen.
First, because I'm concerned you're not all caffeinated enough, and it's a little warm in here. This is not the Comedy Cellar, and the material's a little dry, so please drink up. Just before I get started, I do want to say that my views today are my own, not those of my of my employer, Barclays. So when I insult their national treasure, Marmite, by saying it's gross, that's my view, not the big British banks. So I like to frame the context between fintech companies and incumbents as a bit like Netflix versus Blockbuster. And this is a story that's been told before, but I want to emphasize the beginning of this story about Blockbuster. Blockbuster was an innovation, or it was an improvement over the neighborhood video rental stores. And Blockbuster, for its time, was a really good experience. You would go in and you'd be among a sea of videos or DVDs that had colorful boxes, and you'd be around there would be posters of films on the walls, and you would be selecting your weekend plans or your plans for that night, and you would be doing that in person in a place. And for the time, that was great. And then Redbox came along. Redbox was that video rental vending machine where you would go and select from a relatively small group of DVDs, and you could then just easily go home with them. However, the selection was small, and there could still be a good reason to drive a little further to Blockbuster. And then came Netflix through the mail. And Netflix through the mail was really interesting because you'd go online and you'd search through a very large list of DVDs, and in a couple of days they'd be in your mailbox. And that was great, but if you wanted a video on Friday and you hadn't made your choice by Wednesday, you may not have it. Or if you didn't feel like you rented enough videos from Blockbuster, you might not have been able to make that leap to the subscription service. So there was still a reason to go to Blockbuster. But then came Netflix just on demand. And I think we all know the subscription service that they created and how it was a 10 times better experience. At that point, it was a no-brainer to switch from Blockbuster to being able to pick what movie you wanted at any time, watch as much or as little as you wanted, and avoid those late fees and the fees that you would get for not rewinding a video or whatever else Blockbuster was charging. Just in case you're feeling a little nostalgic, there is one Blockbuster still open. It's in Bend, Oregon. So if you, for whatever reason, want to test your VHS player to see if it can rewind, that might be a good opportunity. So where are banks in this? Having spent the past 11 years in fintech companies, or in the fintech space, it feels like we're at the Blockbuster through the mail stage. Netflix through the mail stage. To the extent that there are new products, they feel substantially similar to what the incumbents offer, and to the extent that there are new business models, incumbents have shifted and have adapted and have copied those models. So personally, I have a banking relationship with a Big Four US bank, and overall, I'm pleased. I'm pretty pleased. I think there are some features that I would like, maybe rounding up each transaction and putting the difference in a savings or investment account, but I'm not switching. And I suspect most of you use big banks, and I wonder how many of you have actually seriously considered switching your primary banking relationship to a fintech company at this point. And according to J.D. Power last year, only 4% of Americans did switch banking relationships, and that could be to other banks or fintech companies. And there are good products out there in the robo-advisory or checking or lending space. But at this point, there's not that 10x better experience to necessitate the change. Even though this time, I think, though, for fintech companies and banks, it's a bit different. Industry after industry, challengers have come in and tried to disrupt and successfully disrupted their incumbents. But I think from a fintech standpoint, it's different because of regulators. And this is not to say that, I'm not going to speak for a regulator, but I suspect that if a fintech company were to come in, move fast, and break things, a regulator would regulate. This is, I think from that standpoint, there's a hurdle that companies need to get over before they can actually disrupt the banking space. So I got into the fintech space in 2008, and I joined a company called the Receivables Exchange. And the Receivables Exchange at the time was a fledgling company, and I remember doing some research before joining, and it was founded by high-flying daredevils. And I knew nothing about high-flying daredevils. At the time, I was working for a big New York bank, and high-flying daredevils were intriguing. And at the time, we and other companies of the era had the strategy of disintermediating banks. We wanted to eat their lunch. Well, the Receivables Exchange is not a household name, and the usual suspects remain household names. So that eat your lunch strategy didn't quite work out. But I subsequently joined a couple of other fintech companies that had more bring your lunch strategies. So we aimed to partner with incumbents to help improve their technology and help improve their products. And that's a strategy that seems to be getting traction, and it seems to be working. So as you know, I'm back in a bank at Barclays. And I've been there for about 9.5 months, and it has been fascinating, enlightening, and at times a bit frustrating. I've joined at a great time because I get to work with some really exciting fintech companies. Some of them seem to facilitate products that seem like magic compared to what we've done in the past. Others make our clients better, and others make our employees better. So it's a great situation in terms of being able to partner from that perspective. But I think what has surprised me probably the most is just how motivated to improve people inside the bank are. People recognize that we are the incumbents, and they know that we're being chased, and they understand what happened to Blockbuster and to other incumbents. So people are doing what they can to ensure that we are the trusted leader in the future. And part of that is we recognize that not just we, but every financial services company out there missed the opportunity to become an Affirm or Stripe or Square. And these are the types of companies that not just should have been started inside financial institutions. They are just a derivative of what we do. So we understand what our challenges are, and those challenges are the opportunities for fintech companies to partner. So with that, here are what I believe are the biggest misunderstandings between fintech companies and incumbents. So the first misunderstanding is around what banking is. Bankers know their products, and they know how banking was and how it is, and they know it really, really well. But they don't have a great vision for what banking could or should be. And they're also not overly tech savvy. They have a difficulty seeing how technology can affect their products, how it can affect their clients. On the other side, fintech companies obviously bring that tech side of things, the tech knowledge. But I think when you work in a tech company, you spend so much time thinking and talking about technology that you assume that everybody is as tech savvy as you. So I think for people at fintech companies, taking the time to explain what the technology is and how things work can really pay dividends. I think in terms of, I think in terms of, the next misunderstanding between fintech companies and banks is what fintech is. Good fintech companies sell solutions and not static products. And for so long, the banking industry and the financial services industry has been around selling products. I think on the banking side, there's a mixed understanding around this. I think sometimes when they understand or hear about fintech solutions, they think that they can understand how it's going to change their products or how it's going to change the world. Sometimes they see how it can make themselves better, But sometimes I think there is a bit of pushback, and they just say that's just not the way the world works. It's just a different view of the world. The third misunderstanding is around incentives. Fintech company employees tend to have some sort of equity compensation. So they're motivated on a 3, 5, 7, or 10-year type of time frame to build value for their company. And that's not to say that every decision every employee makes every day is in the best interest of in the long run for the company. But it does align people, and it does get people to focus on the future rather than today or this year. In banks, and this is really important, bankers are incentivized on a 1-year bonus cycle. And that means they're incentivized to grow revenue or to improve their profit that year. And that's a mismatch with fintech companies who are trying to sell into a bank on a given year. Because if you're not providing value immediately, it's tough to be the main focus and tough to get the banker's attention because they're focusing on the day-to-day. And the final misunderstanding between fintech companies and banks is around speed. So fintech companies often complain about how slow it is to sell into and then to work with fintech companies once they're in the bank. And they are absolutely right. It is slow, but there is a real misunderstanding about why things are slow. So on the sales side, it's around budget and risk aversion. Banks are big companies and it feels like there's a lot of money there. But the amount of money set aside for for tech improvements and for partnering with fintech companies is really limited. So in deciding which company to work with or which companies to work with, bankers often take their time to ensure that they're getting the most bang for their buck. And then in terms of risk aversion, a fintech company that sells into a bank really increases its value. There's a lot of upside, but bankers and banks have disproportionate downside risk. If something goes really well, a product is improved or a client is happy, and that's great. But if something goes poorly and clients' information is leaked or funds just go missing, there is a lot of pain and a lot of cost related to that. So that's why the due diligence, the amount of review of technology and compliance solutions is so intense. And then on the delivery side, I think to put it kindly, banks' infrastructure is it's a bit rough, the tech infrastructure. And things that sound really simple, like getting data on a short time frame, can take a while, and that's really frustrating to fintech companies who are able to do things like that very quickly. However, that challenge, that pain point for banks, is the opportunity for fintech companies to partner. So back to Netflix. I think Netflix did not need Blockbuster. They didn't need the big box stores or their large customer base to disintermediate and to win in the movie rental business. And typically disruptors have not needed incumbents to win market share. For fintech companies and banks, I think this time it's different. Partnering produces an odd couple with sometimes frustrating misunderstandings, but a shared understanding that by working together, both parties can benefit and grow. Thank you.
Look, so some of the things that we heard in that talk were that you should focus on solutions and not products, and that when you look at banks from a startup standpoint, they don't have all the budget in the world, and risk aversion is something you really need to look at. So thank you so much. Our next speaker today is Karen Batia, who is Senior Vice President of the New York City Economic Development Corporation. She's a leading creative and applied technology strategies to promote economic development and entrepreneurship throughout the city, including initiatives in blockchain, virtual reality and augmented reality, advanced manufacturing and fashion, and the ethical development of AI and data. Karen is also in this session. She will share the state of the New York startup and technology industry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As mentioned, I'm from the New York City Economic Development Corporation, also known as EDC, and I lead our emerging technology strategies. I'm here today to talk about the state of tech in New York City. Let me start by saying that according to a recent Bloomberg article, New York City ranks as the #1 tech city in the world, ahead of San Francisco and Boston, based on criteria including talent and VC investment. Regardless of rankings, tech has grown dramatically in New York City. So how did this happen? Before I tell you this story, I want to tell you more about who we are and our role in the tech sector. EDC is responsible for driving and shaping economic growth throughout the 5 boroughs. We're behind some of the city's boldest ideas, from reviving Times Square to opening the brand new Cornell Tech campus. At EDC, we work on economic development in 4 primary ways. First, we own and operate 66 million square feet of real estate throughout the city that we use for strategic development. Second, we build infrastructure. Examples include broadband and commercial corridors, as well as the New York City ferries. Third, we bring together the private sector, government, and academia to collaborate on economic development. And fourth, we invest in industries. This is what I'll focus on this talk, specifically our investments in tech. Now let me tell you a little bit about the growth of tech in New York City and where we go from here. First, let's look at access to capital. New York City has an investor community of over 200 angel and VC investors, and New York City startups raised over $13.4 billion in VC investment in 2018. This is more than double the nominal investment in 2014. We have strong and diverse industries. New York City is home to more Fortune 500 companies than any other city in the world, and it is a global leader in financial services, healthcare, and media, sectors that play a critical role in fueling the adoption of technology. We're also home to premier academic institutions. We have over 120 colleges and universities in New York City and more than 100 organizations that provide tech training. And fourth, we have a vibrant startup community. Today, more than 9,000 startups and 120 incubators call this city home. Finally, our workforce is unmatched. Over the last 10 years, New York City's tech workforce has grown nearly 3 times faster than the nation's and now accounts for over 320,000 jobs. Overall, our workforce is the largest and most diverse in the country. New York has 2.3 million residents with a bachelor's degree or higher. That's more than Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Los Angeles combined. We also have double the number of software engineers as compared to Boston and San Francisco. Our city, with a total population of approximately 8.6 million people, is proud that we're home to 3.3 million immigrants from over 150 countries. That's about 40% of us who are first-generation immigrants. These are some of the factors that have contributed to the incredible growth of the tech sector in New York City. And EDC has played a critical role in this growth. 10 years ago, the Bloomberg administration developed a strategy to diversify our economy. We supported tech startups in various ways. We launched the Varick Street Incubator, one of the city's first business incubators, which started in 2009. We launched programs like Venture Fellows, which provides mentoring to startups. Companies that were supported by our programs include Rent the Runway, Warby Parker, CB Insights, and Business Insider, to name a few. We also focused on tech development in talent. EDC created the Applied Sciences Initiative to bring and develop tech talent to New York City. We were behind the creation of Cornell Tech. We also seeded the Columbia Data Science Institute, and we helped to create the NYU Center for Urban Science and Progress, also known as CUSP. Since then, we've focused on developing the tech ecosystem through clusters. We developed the Urban Tech Hub in ULab and Grand Central Tech, now called the company, which supports startups that develop and deploy tech-based solutions to urban challenges. We built FutureWorks, a network and incubator for advanced manufacturing. We developed our cybersecurity strategy, where we recently announced our $30 million investment in this sector, including a global cyber center, an innovation hub for startups, commercialization and research, as well as training. We also recently launched The Grid. It's a network of over 70 organizations in urban tech to foster partnerships and resource sharing. We're currently supporting emerging technologies. For example, we developed our blockchain strategy, where we recently opened the New York City Blockchain Center in the Flatiron in January. It provides resources to startups and public education about the technology. We're also educating government about blockchain with the goal of developing meaningful civic pilots through Big Apps competition. We also launched our lab. It's the first publicly funded virtual reality and augmented reality lab in the nation with startup support and training. And now we're focusing on responsible AI and data science. This is important for various reasons. New York City's main industries such as finance, healthcare, media are all applying AI and using data. Also, over the past 5 years, New York City has record growth in VC funding in AI companies as compared to the Bay Area, Boston, and Montreal. And New York City has the highest number of machine learning job openings of any metro area. With all this growth in AI and data science comes greater responsibility. So we are working on an initiative to ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability in AI. And all of that and to make sure that all New Yorkers benefit from this technology. So where do we go from here in tech? For us, the biggest opportunity in tech is ensuring equitable access and inclusivity. We're committed to improving diversity in the industry. We've all seen the numbers on the lack of diversity in tech, and they are abysmal. Now let's get this straight. Equitable access, diversity, and inclusivity first and foremost makes business sense. It leads to better products, more innovation, and better businesses. It is also critical for economic development for all of us. Think about AI applications such as those in healthcare that are trained on non-diverse data and also developed by non-diverse teams. They lead to applications that are useless and even potentially dangerous for a significant portion of our population. New York City is known for our diversity, the diversity in our industries, and the diversity of our people. This is our biggest strength, and we will lead in inclusive tech. We are already fully committed to creating the country's most dynamic and diverse tech sector. We are doubling the number of students graduating from CUNY with tech degrees. We're providing all New York City public school students with a computer science education. We're supporting diverse entrepreneurs through the We Venture. This is the city's first venture capital consortia designed to support New York City tech startups founded by women and minority entrepreneurs. And in fact, New York City was ranked #1 out of 50 cities by Dell in the ability to foster women's entrepreneurship based on capital, tech, talent, culture, and markets. We're also facilitating access to tech training in several ways. First, we currently have a workforce request for expression of interest to research and develop the most effective ways to expand access to tech training for all New Yorkers. We're also building a tech training center in Union Square. This is a 21-story, 240,000 square foot facility that is centrally accessible to all in the city, with classrooms, co-working, a civic innovation space to make sure that New Yorkers can affordably gain digital training. We're also supporting virtual reality and augmented reality training at Lehman College for anyone in the community. We're also building a cyber boot camp in partnership with Full Stack Academy and CUNY's LaGuardia Community College. This will train and place 1,000 students in cybersecurity jobs in the first 3 years of the program. We're also supporting public education about emerging technologies. For example, our Blockchain Center has organized Blockchain 101 classes for the public in Harlem and another workshop at our center entirely in Spanish. At EDC, we're committed to making New York City the world leader in tech innovation and continue our growth in this sector. We already have leading industries, a diverse workforce, and top scientists working on the next big breakthroughs at our academic institutions. We're working to ensure that everyone has equal opportunity to be a part of this growing sector. So as you continue to build and grow your businesses here in New York City, know that the New York City Economic Development Corporation is here to partner with you. We also have a booth at location 310 if you have any more questions. Thank you.
What is your name?
Bridget Gobelbecker.
Bridget, what do you represent here?
I'm here from the New York City Economic Development Corporation, which is the main economic development vehicle for New York City.
Why did you your organization decide to be sponsors at the Tech Day?
So the EDC is dedicated to building the tech ecosystem in New York, both identifying who's here and cultivating an environment where more people can feel like they can open up shop in New York. So we're here to learn more about it and support all the companies that are here.
What do you as Economic Development Corporation will get out of it for being here? Are you going to get new members to come to join you? What is it for you in it?
Yeah, so we're a government agency, so we're essentially here just to express our support of the ecosystem and help anyone who has any questions about how to thrive as a tech innovator in New York and connect them to the right resources to do so.
How they can use your organization for their benefit, like those startups, companies, and the folks that come in?
Yeah, so we have things like this, which is the startup guide. Here we go. Which we've designed through connecting with as many startups as possible throughout the city so we can know what resources there are about how to open up shop, what partners to connect with, where there's opportunities for new growth, etc. So essentially just reaching out to us, talking to them about their needs, and we're here to make sure they can succeed.
What is the best way to reach you guys and find out information?
Great question. So we have a website, the New York City Economic Development Corporation. You can just Google that and find our website, and through that I believe that there'll be contact information on the site to just reach out through that platform.
Guys, check it out. Could be cool. Can you talk a little bit about out front the subway ads? What do you guys do?
We are the largest out-of-home vendor in the country and the largest in New York City. So anytime you ride the subway, you're one of the 6 million people who do it daily, you are going to see one of the advertisements that we've placed there. We work with everything from a startup with 2 people to blue chip Fortune 100 companies, and if you want an ad put there, if you want to reach that New York audience, we're the ones to get it there.
What is the difference? Why the subway ads are important? What's the metrics? Like, say, 1 million people see it, they can get 1 sale out of it, or 10 people see it, get a 1 sale. What is the metrics usually people see from correlation from this?
Well, there's 6 million people on the subway each day, and you're pretty much on the subway for 40 minutes each way. You're probably taking 3 trains a day. So that's 120 minutes people are looking at an ad, and that's a lot of dwell time. You really get to take it in, understand what a company does, and you think about it. And then maybe you get served an ad later in the day on your phone, and it reminds you, hey, that's the thing I saw on the subway. And it kind of, we're filling the top of the funnel for all these brands. We're helping them get name
What is the conversion rate? Is there any particular math behind this?
Yes, we can't really share the numbers because our clients have made us sign NDAs, but there is a lot of math behind what our ads have helped companies do. And
I guess you have repeated clients. Like if they done it once and it works for them, they can do it. They do it again. If they never come back, it looks like it didn't really work out for them.
Right. A lot of our clients are running with us for years. We have people come in for a one-time campaign, and then they'll end up working with us for years.
Okay. Thank you. How people can reach out to you guys? What's the website?
Outfrontmedia.com, and you'll be able to direct to whatever city you're looking to talk to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you want to talk?
What is your name?
Kelsey Kleiman.
What is your name?
I'm Andrew Thompson.
And you work for Good Job, and it's a company that makes portraits for the companies, correct? Can you tell the story about behind the company?
Sure. The parent company is called Stomping Ground Photo, and we go into schools, and we reinvented the school picture 10 years ago. And this is a new division of that company. So when we were doing our own company portraits, we found that it was difficult to keep them updated, and we thought, wow, we could really help companies. Once we figured it out for ourselves, we could really help other companies, take great portraits and keep them up to date. So For the New York area, we tend to go out, like we're a mobile photo studio, and we do events like this, like trade shows, and we also go into the company, we set up a studio, and we do all the portraits.
Nowadays, many companies and folks have decent cameras and nice phones that produce proper pictures on their own. But when you come with a professional makeup and hair team and the proper light, and if you do the very colorful background, something that people cannot do on their own with the Photoshop, maybe that's the future. That's something that they might consider to hire versus doing on their own. What is your edge? Like, what is the hook? Why people come to you?
Well, so a lot of the companies, when they're asking people to submit their own pictures, they don't look good, they're not good, they are either grainy, old, out of date, and it doesn't have a consistent look for their website. So for when they want like a branded look and they want everyone to like look fabulous, that's when they come to us. So a lot of people are coming to us for shots for their website and for larger organizations, for HR and directories, for people that speak at trade shows and they really need a great photo.
And what's the best way to reach out to the company to set an appointment?
To reach out to the company, the best way to reach out to the company is to email Kelsey at goodjob.photos. We also have our Instagram and our website are also goodjob.photos.
Guys, check it out. I'm gonna get a picture and we'll see if it makes any sense to deal with these guys. Well, I hope so. Take care. What's your name?
Michael Auerbach.
Michael, can you talk about your company?
Yeah, of course. So Kinful is a K-12 social and emotional learning program where students are given the opportunity to produce their own perspective-taking virtual reality films. And in doing so, we're developing social emotional skills in profound ways. When students get in front of the camera and tell stories about their lives, they're learning to be vulnerable. They're learning a sense of self-worth by talking about issues important to them and why it matters to them. And when students put on a VR headset, they're actively engaged and they're learning to actively listen to someone else's stories and they're learning to empathize. And so after students produce and then view these 5 to 10 minute VR videos, they're then guided to go through a series of targeted reflection questions together as a class to discuss the experience. And that's where we really feel like SEL skills are being developed in really powerful ways.
What is the distinction in the virtual reality 180-degree camera? It gets more empathy and it blocks everything else so they can pay more attention to what's in front of them. But what are the challenges in terms of editing and producing those videos? Is there anything? It takes a lot of space and it's kind of tough to upload to YouTube, so not so many people still watching the content as a VR.
Yeah, so these were a lot of roadblocks for us when we first started. But luckily technology's come a very long way. So now there's 360 cameras out there that we're using that have auto stitching. So right when they film, all they have to do is just plug it into a laptop and just transfer the file from the camera to the laptop, and the file's already in VR footage, VR format, ready to go. Whereas years past, we had to take the footage and manually stitch it ourselves, which, to your point, was definitely a pain point. And then regarding the VR headsets, what you were talking about, like uploading it to YouTube, that pain point, you're right. When we first piloted the program, we'd upload to YouTube, which then required schools have to have quality Wi-Fi to just be able to stream the videos and provide their own, smartphones with like a Google Cardboard. Now we're using standalone VR headsets where there's no Wi-Fi needed. So we'll ship headsets to schools with the videos already preloaded. So schools don't have to worry about streaming videos or loading them themselves. And if schools want to create a video and then view it right away in their own headset, again, all they have to do, shoot it in the camera and then drag it onto the headset and it's ready to go. It's really as simple as that.
What is the advantage of your technology over other VR companies that are out there?
There's certainly a lot of VR companies out there, but as far as we know, we're one of the only ones using virtual reality as a tool of empathy to develop social emotional learning competencies in particular. So what we do is when we send cameras to schools, we give students prompts to talk about aspects of their lives that are related to the 5 social emotional learning competencies that we're targeting, and we're targeting the 5 social emotional learning competencies as outlined by Castle, so self-management, social awareness, etc. And our theory is VR can be a very powerful tool to develop these skills in innovative ways.
How the VR is moving along. It's VR been around for quite a while, and YouTube and so many other platforms are trying to move it forward. But so far, it's not widely used as like let's say cell phone technology or other technologies. So what's stopping VR from being much more broadly used technology?
Yeah, I know VR has been adopted slowly in other industries. I'm not an expert on gaming or entertainment industries, but as far as VR goes in education, like I think you are starting to see a lot of more VR labs and augmented reality labs. To answer your question bluntly, why is there slow adoption with VR in the education space? Our opinion is a lot of it comes down to content. Because the technology is there now, it's becoming more.
Do you think it's important to get like creators, people who have large following, to adapt from regular 2D cameras to 3D cameras, so they can kind of put that content, and then it becomes more popular? If all the major players are filming with VR cameras, it will move the masses to also film with the VR cameras and do education over VR.
Yeah, certainly. If I understand your question correctly, like the ease of technology will be a key factor, I think, in VR technology being more adopted. But you also brought up the creators. Our theory as well, in order to get VR to be more adopted in the education space, is like I think educators and students need to become the creators themselves, and then in doing so, we will inherently be creating content that's meaningful and impactful for educators and students alike. And that's why with the Kinfo model, we put the camera in the hands of the students. So they're creating the content, and in doing so, we believe are necessarily creating content that is going to be impactful for them.
How they can reach out to you? What's your Instagram, Facebook? What's the best?
Yeah, certainly, you can learn more about Kinfo at www.kinfo.org. Pretty simple. And our Twitter handle is @KinfoVR.
Thank you. Guys, check it out. It's pretty cool technology. I looked them up prior to the show.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
What is your name?
My name's Mark Goldich, and I'm co-founder of Lawcoin.
Can you talk about your company, please?
Yeah, sure. So Lawcoin is a litigation finance platform on the blockchain. What is that? Litigation finance is a $50 billion to $100 billion a year market, and we solve two problems: liquidity and access. Investors love the investment in lawsuits. Like I said, it's $50 billion. So we're a platform where lawyers can come, they can list their cases, get funding for those cases, and investors can browse cases and invest in cases. And it's on the blockchain. They receive a security token in return, and they'll be able to trade those tokens on the secondary market. It's groundbreaking. There hasn't been any platform like this. So we're really excited.
Why do you use the name coin? Is that anything relevant to the law, and how that correlate with the what you do?
Yes, so we're Lawcoin because what we are is we are a security token that's on the blockchain, and what investors receive in return for their investment is a token, and so it's a coin. It is a fractionalized interest in a litigation investment.
How people can look it up? What's the best way to reach out to you guys?
Great. So you can find us on www.lawcoinx.com.
Thank you, guys. Check it out. Maybe cool. May I ask, what is your name?
Elena.
Elena, can you talk about your company, please?
We are Belko BTM, a cryptocurrency ATM operator. Currently, we have 12 locations in New Jersey, and we're expanding to other states and globally.
Why not so many companies have Bitcoins and other currencies, ATMs, and you guys are one of few that do?
Blockchain companies and cryptocurrency companies in general are still considered to be very revolutionary. So it's not a lot of companies that build products for adoption of cryptocurrency. So we are one of the few ones.
Why is that?
Well, because a lot of people maybe are scared of the volatility of the Bitcoin, or they are not very knowledgeable about blockchain and Bitcoin. So we are here trying to educate.
What are the challenges that why people not willing to do Bitcoin or other currencies and stick to traditional
Yeah, so one of the challenges is people don't have the skills to buy or knowledge to buy cryptocurrency from online exchanges. So that's why it's actually easier for regular people to buy cryptocurrency from ATMs on the spot, for the street level consumers. And the other challenge might be banks. They are very stringent, and it's very hard to link your bank account and get cryptocurrency through bank accounts.
Why?
They don't trust cryptocurrency.
If folks would like to look you up, what is the best way to reach out? Your website, your Instagram, Facebook?
Any social media, the handle is BelkoBTM, or my LinkedIn as well.
Guys, check it out. Maybe interesting. May I ask, what is your name?
My name is Pedro.
Pedro, can you talk about your business?
So in events, event solution platform for large corporate customers. Our idea is to be the Salesforce for events. So you don't need to, your data is not shared, it's not marketed with other companies. So you use that to many event solutions. So such as creating websites, doing expense management, doing reports, doing event apps, badge printing, all in one solution.
Why large corporations cannot do it on their own? Why do they need your help?
So today, those corporations, they use spreadsheets because the solutions that are available are more for social events like big festivals and etc. And when they want to use that, they cannot because of data compliance. And even there is no tool focus on that. So our focus is really to create a private solution, a compliant solution that can work for their business and follows all the business rules.
What kind of clients are you expecting to get here? Why did you come to the tech day?
Oh yeah, so we came mostly to do partnerships and also get big corporate customers such as bank, pharmaceutical companies, companies that are willing, retail companies, technological companies that today do their meetings, their travels and everything and don't have a proper solution to that. They're using spreadsheets, so we can help them with that.
If folks would like to look you up, what is the Instagram or Facebook, how they can find the company?
Yeah, so you can find us at inevent.com. You can also reach us on InEvent app at Instagram or also Twitter. Yeah, we are free and we're ready to do business. We have a lot of compliance work and we're ready to be here.
Thank you guys, check it out. It's okay. May I ask, what is your name?
Ivana.
Can you talk about your business?
Of course. So Travel Card is all-in-one booking platform with its own digital wallet, so you can book your flights, accommodation, events all together, or exchange money, pay through QR codes, or share your travel costs with your travel buddies inside our app.
How is it different from other traditional Kayak and many Expedia and many other booking sites?
Okay, so the other ones, they take you from point A to B, but we're trying to do more for you, like support you on the payments part, or we have created our own travel agent, online travel agent, which is called Foxy, which helps you wherever you go. You can ask questions like, where is the coolest bar or coolest restaurant, or even where is the hospital.
Why did you come to the tech day? What do you expect to get? People booking here or corporate clients? Why are you here exhibiting?
So we're looking for partnerships and for users, of course, yes.
What kind of marketing have you done so far?
So we have launched fully in China a few months ago, and we work with the universities, co-organizing events with them, and we have some partners, and we co-organize mainly events with them. Now we will be starting with online marketing.
What is your social media? How people can look you up? You have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook accounts?
So we have Facebook accounts, Instagrams, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can download the app in Apple or Google Play or on Huawei as well. And then it's completely free, and you can start booking.
Thank you, guys. Check it out. What is your name?
My name's Sean Lochner.
Sean, can you talk about your company?
Sure. My company is Blue Quench, and I'm the founder and CEO. And at Tech Day today, we're introducing our product called Cooler. Cooler with the Q, Qooler. And basically what it is it is a device that will chill a 6-pack of beverages in 60 seconds. So we can either chill a 6-pack of beer, 6-pack of wine. We can chill wine bottles, anything in 60 seconds. All you do is you put your beverages in there. You press the start button, and the drinks start to spin at 500 RPMs. And then ice cold water is flowed underneath the drinks. And by spinning the drinks, it pushes the liquid to the outside of the cans, makes contact with the 32-degree water, Fahrenheit, and that removes the heat very quickly. So 60 seconds from 77 degrees to 33 degrees.
What do you expect to get the Tech Day? You expect to get more awareness, more corporate buyers, or just why did you come here?
So we actually launched an Indiegogo campaign today in conjunction with Tech Day. So our goal is to get some brand awareness out there, get some traffic to the Indiegogo site, but also show people what we can do. This is just one of our products. We have another commercial product that can do 3 cases of beverages in 60 seconds. We are looking for investors for the product. So we're here both for investors and to get brand awareness.
And how people can buy them? What's the website or in social media?
Sure. So it's we're on Indiegogo today. The website for our product is bluequench.com, but we're on Indiegogo, and the retail price is $479, but we have an early bird special for $349 throughout the month of May.
That's quite a bit of money, but it's I guess it does some job.
Yes, and it comes with its own rechargeable battery. So this is just a rechargeable battery, doesn't need to be plugged into the wall, and with that single charge battery you can chill about 10 cases of beverages.
Guys, check it out, maybe cool. Founder of the company, what is your name?
Jeff Guida, Guida.
Jeff, can you talk a little bit about your invention and your firm?
Sure, so someone has taken it now, where did it go? He has it.
Okay.
This is one. It is a handheld portable device that can add electric power to anything with a wheel. It'd be better if I could show it to you.
Okay. Once it's still showing another customer, so once you have it available, we'll show you guys.
Should brought more samples. But yeah, so it's unique in the e-bike world because it can power folding bikes, regular bikes, kick scooters, and even bike share.
Being a company that makes batteries, it's like size of Tesla and the big companies. How do you compete against the big giants that already, have quite a bit of money to themselves?
Sure. Well, we don't make the batteries. We have a manufacturer who makes the batteries for us. And right now we're a niche player, so we serve a small market segment that really values the versatility that this product offers.
So what do you do if not the battery? What do you produce? The motor?
We do final assembly of the whole device. So the device consists of, let me grab this here. So the device consists of a battery, a motor, a wireless pedal assist sensor, and a wireless controller. So we design all of the components here. All the engineering is us. We have an outsourced manufacturer make the battery packs, and we have an outsourced manufacturer make the motors.
How much is it?
Batteries. The price point is $1,250 for this compact assembly. But we do all the other engineering and manufacturing in the U.S. We make the PCBs locally. We make a lot of the plastics in the U.S. We make the urethane belts in the U.S. We write all the software. We do all the design work ourselves. So we're not trying to compete with Chinese manufacturers that make 1 million units every couple months. This isn't really targeted at the low-end price point of the e-bike segment. This is something that is special and unique in the world of electric personal mobility.
Have you considered applying for the Shark Tank? Shark Tank editions are happening today?
Yeah, actually, I didn't even know they were happening here today, but they've reached out to me in the past, and we just weren't ready to do it at the time. But probably at some point soon, we'd be more than willing to go on to the show. I think we have a pretty cool product, but timing is everything with something like that. So, yeah.
What is the reason why you're here at the tech show? Like, what would you expect to accomplish?
To get more exposure in general. Being a New York-based company, it makes a lot of sense to be part of this exhibition. We wanted to meet more customers, more corporate partners, potentially investors, get the word out.
And what is the website, social media?
So our website is onemotor, onemotor.co. And social media, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't do much with that, so I couldn't even tell you what the links are.
Wow. Guys, check it out. Maybe it's pretty cool design. Thank you. What is your name?
Alan Avedon.
Jolyn Blatz.
You're doing some work with influencers. Can you talk about your business?
So we have a platform for influencers. It's a performance-based platform. It's a very unique and one-of-a-kind. And
what's so unique about it?
So advertisers set up campaigns, and we invite influencers to join and promote their content. And we pay only for performance. So when the followers take action, that's when the influencers get paid.
What if, let's say, they get brand awareness, they didn't buy today, they might buy it 6 months from now. The influencer already, by that time, already spent time, promoted the product, and it just didn't happen. The end result, maybe the price point is crazy, and they're charging for something that costs like $1, they're charging 10,000. Yes, people come, but once they see that it's not the right mix, why the influencer should lose the revenue?
Well, there's always a tail. But the tail end is cut off at one point. You're right that some things may happen years after the effect, but we can't count that. We do track every conversion, every click, but up to the duration of the campaign.
Okay. What is the reasoning for the influencers to join the firm with you guys versus doing stuff on their own directly and waiting, and what's at which point it makes sense and when it's not? When it's, let's say, $10, maybe I don't want to waste my time. When it's substantial amount of money, I might pay attention. What would be the break point?
The great thing that we offer influencers is that for every campaign, they can make more money than they would on an average influencer marketing platform. Since the advertisers only pay for conversions, the rate of conversion is a lot more than, let's say, the 25 cents that they would get from another platform. They're making at least $1, sometimes up to $50, even more, depending on the product. And it's free for influencers to sign up. And our algorithm connects them with the right campaigns. So they're not going to get spammed with campaigns that are of no interest to them. They'll be invited to campaigns that matter.
How do you know, let's say, if you're running, let's say, 5-6 different influencers at the same time, how do you know if the client came from this one or the other? If everyone chips in? Because sometimes it takes 2-3 influencers to get people to make a sale. So it's maybe they watch my channel, it wasn't enough. Maybe they watch another channel, they saw the same ad, and that's fine. How do we split the revenue? Who gets the commission?
So first of all, we have unique tracking codes for every transaction. But you're right about the fact that you can't always differentiate the levels of influence. And it may have been, I saw it with your influence, but I already saw it before for somebody else's influence. You're right, we can't distinguish between them. But we are solving that problem because we're going on the blockchain and we are going to be transferring tokens. So every time a person sees something, they earn a token that has a unique ID on it. And that token gets passed around and we can see multiple influencers kick in.
Influencers like me, I have enough ads and I have enough already, following, so I don't have to depend on platforms of that magnitude. I'm already kind of feel myself established. So unless I get paid like a certain amount of money up front, I would not even bother to apply to any of those platforms. How do you reach out to influencers who have millions and millions of followers who don't want to just play the level field? When it's like maybe I'll get paid, maybe you forget to pay me, the folks who actually want, this is my setup fee, I might get, let's say, 10% later in addition to this, but this is the minimum, unless otherwise I'm not even gonna be bothered.
So you're one of the lucky guys that have a big following.
Okay.
But most influencers don't have a big following. They're micro and nano influencers. And in that sense, a performance-based platform is more suited for them. We don't really care if you have 200 followers or 20,000 or 200,000. It's all the same to us. It's what the conversions that you can drive. So that's why
the brands that come to your platform, is there any setup fee for them, or they just pay on ongoing base?
Conversion only, no setup fee. So that's why advertisers love our platform, because it doesn't cost them anything and they take no risk.
Guys, check it out. You should truly take advantage of that skewing in that system until they figure out how to change it. I think it's a great deal. May I ask, what is your name?
Tamara Lane.
What are you doing here today at the Tech Day?
I'm here with Aylin Designs. We're a luxury apparel brand that creates better basics. They're better for the environment, they're a better fit, and they're a better feel for you. What we've done is we've created a sizing system that creates more options for the consumer. So you should be able to get the perfect fit on the first try.
What's the key for your business? Like why there are so many designers, there are so many folks who are trying to succeed in the fashion arena. What's your hook? Why are you different?
It's really about the fit. So we're designed to fit the unique individual. Many apparel brands don't give you the option to pick your length with your size, and we do. And the reason that we've done that is because men and women are all different, and they are not a one-size-fit-all group, right? And so since we've created more options, that allows you to have the perfect fit on the first try, which not only reduces fashion waste, but as a consumer, you don't have to worry about going to multiple sites and trying to find your fit. You'll know that this is going to be perfect.
What are you trying to accomplish here at the Tech Day? You can go do a fashion show, you can be in New York Fashion Week, you can have like a variety of fashion events. You actually went where startups and the technology guys, it's mostly men, like a business, and you're the pretty girl among the technical savvy guru guys. What are you trying to accomplish here?
Well, I see a lot of female founders here as well. Tech Day is really exciting. We're a startup and it's fun to be around other startups, and we're also technology driven. Our sizing system is created and implemented at the manufacturer. We've created something that's different, and so that's why we feel like we stand out at a technology driven conference, because we're fashion tech.
The Tech Day is going to be over in 30 minutes probably. It's one day, it's not like a week. What have you accomplished? What did you plan to accomplish? What didn't go right? Like what is your aftermath of the day? Almost there.
Well, we've had a really successful day. I've seen people come by, they feel the fabric, they see the sizing system that we have, and they get excited because they haven't seen anything like this. Especially with people who are constantly doing technology, and you see robots down there and you see drones over there. To see someone trying to tackle the fashion problem with sizing has been exciting for investors. It's been exciting we just see founders coming by saying, look, I was looking for something that fit me right for an interview that I was going to, and I couldn't find it. And here we are, they get excited, and we're direct to consumer, which means that they can go online and they can purchase it and get it within 2 days.
What is your social media? How folks can look it up and work with you, I guess?
So we're on all the social media sites. We love Instagram as well, because that's where we get to see people post our designs on them. They give us feedback. We love just being there on their journey. So you can see us at Aylin Designs on Instagram, as well as Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay. Which platform works for you best? Instagram?
Instagram is great. That's where a lot of people post pictures wearing our clothing. And so then you can go on, and as they tag Aylin in their pictures, you can see it everywhere in the streets. A lot of people traveling, a lot of people going to work.
Guys, check it out. Maybe cool. Take it out. What's your name?
My name is Joe Tavares. I'm the marketing specialist for Temi.
Can you talk about the business, the product?
Absolutely. So this is Temi, the world's first personal robotic assistant for your home or office. It's somewhat like a robotic Alexa in a sense that it's able to answer any question you may have, order you an Uber, play music for you, but you can also video call into it from anywhere in the world and move around your home as if you were really there.
How much does it cost? What's the point? Why did you come to the Tech Day?
Yes, so overall the main point is one, to bridge the gap between two human beings at a distance. You know, I see the video calling as being the main feature in my opinion, because if I throw it in the following mode, which I can show you in a minute, and someone is video calling into the robot, it genuinely feels like they're there walking with me, and that's amazing. It costs right now at robotemi.com, it costs $2,000, which for a new product in a relatively new industry is pretty much unheard of. How we came up with it, the founder, he saw his grandmother struggling to perform basic daily tasks in her home, and he knew that there should be a way to provide assistance in a robotic form for the everyday person.
The Tech Day is almost over. What do you guys accomplish here today? Did you get orders? Did you get like exposure? What was the main purpose to have you accomplish it?
Man, it's been an incredible day here. I've been to a lot of exhibitions in the past, and I have to say this is definitely one of the busiest. You know, a lot of people have come through and spoke to us about the robot, and we've gotten some great feedback, which is always important, you know, getting to see how people react to the product and what they would like to see in it. Perhaps some orders, but overall what we're mainly focused on is continuing to build this narrative for what it means to be a personal robot in the world today.
Thank you. What's the full, like how people can look it up? What's the social media?
So social media is Robotemi, that's ROBOTEMI, and the website, as I said, is robotemi.com.
Guys, check it out. Maybe cool. Josh, can you talk a little bit about your company, Park U?
Absolutely. So my name's Josh Futterman. I'm the founder and CEO of Park U, and we make it possible for anybody who parks their car regularly on the streets of New York City and soon 30 to 40 other cities globally to instantaneously find street parking automatically in real time.
What is the reason why did you come to the Tech Day? What do you expect to get? Clients, exposure, like business? Like what's the point to be here?
Absolutely. Well, this is the second time that we've exhibited at Tech Day. We exhibited last year, and that was when we introduced this to the public. And our goal then was to add people to our marketing list before we launched. This year, it's just much more for visibility, right? You know, to continue to generate that excitement, to share with people that we haven't met yet. And that really was the focus this time.
Why do you spend money and time and effort to be here? Like, let's say you can do like a YouTube video and you can do like Instagram videos and people watch them all the time. So this one is just once a year. What's the conversion rate of the
Absolutely. Well, this isn't about conversion for us because we do the majority of our member acquisition with brand ambassadors on the street during alternate side parking, signing people up right then. So we have an 80% of the people that they talk to sign them up. Like I said, this is more just for visibility. The issue for us is the kind of things that you're talking about. The people who watch regularly aren't our customers. You know, they're Gen Z, they're young millennials. Our people, our members are generally people in their late 20s or older. They're car owners. You know, they have much more disposable income. This is a daily problem for them. And so we get a fair number of those people coming through here. In fact, we probably talked to 200 people today who got excited about this. Last year, just for our list, in 5 hours, we signed up 120 people for our mailing list. So that's really why we go about it. We've A/B tested all sorts of things. We do things for supplemental reasons like Google advertising. We've tested Facebook ads, nowhere near as effective. And then the other issue, of course, is
which is the most effective?
The brand ambassadors by far. Putting them out on the street, because what happens is not only do you get people excited and get them downloaded right away, and there we have only a $6 to $7 customer acquisition cost, which people are shocked about. They'll sign up 11 people in a 4-hour shift, right? And we pay them $20 an hour to do this, which is reasonable. We're not paying cheap. And what happens with it is not only do we get these members, but we create instant loyalty. We create instant stickiness and great network effects. In fact, even though we're just rolled out a little bit in a few areas, we're mostly focused in Central Harlem, Morningside Heights, and then also rolling down the Upper West Side right now. Over 8% of our members have invited friends and family already to participate in this, which, if you know anything about, invite-based marketing, is actually very high for an early-stage company. So, yeah.
But why have you tried to do influencers, people who have large following to post and talk about the product and service, so they can convert? Is it cheaper or it's not effective?
A little bit, and just you don't get the same kind of conversions. They're just not talking to the same audience. The other issue is we do this in micro communities of 12 to 20 block squares, and influencers generally, can't just go to a particular, even a zip code, and go, okay, I've got 400 people who are car owners in that zip code. It just doesn't work for us. We'll do a little bit of it as we go on and we grow bigger, and it's more about the overall branding. But for the moment, the user acquisition, best way is Facebook.
Someone who have a haircut salon, usually people who come to get a haircut, the people who live around the neighborhood. So if you get this, barbers there, you might get better results than those influencers that are.
Actually, we have a hyper-local rewards program we're putting together with local shops, local restaurants, coffee shops, local gas stations, where if you use the app a certain amount, you'll get these benefits, and we help them, and that helps us as well for the people that we're not reaching.
My question to you is why don't you, if you build a YouTube channel and you post daily funny videos about parking cars? I'm sure there are so many jokes about it, and as you see,
we have through LinkedIn 9,000 views of that video. Through YouTube, we have 3 or 4.
How many videos you post? You post
only a few, but the problem is, I do things very professionally. I was actually in the entertainment business for years. I won't post junk up there, and we know it doesn't have the impact. In fact, my head of growth and marketing, Anthony Giordano, was the head of U.S. business development for NYC, which is the world's largest media buying company, 30 under 30 in marketing. So we've tested all of these things. And as we move away from, in each area, the brand ambassador approach, and we start moving into more traditional advertising, the things you're talking about will be a good supplement. But right now, they just don't give us the bang for the buck that we would be looking for. So.
One more time, what is the social media, how folks can reach out?
Okay, so a few different ways. You can go to our website, which is park-u.com. That's Y-O-U, not you. Not the letter U for you millennials, right? So you can go there and you can communicate with us through that. You can also download the app there, and it doesn't matter whether you have an iPhone or an Android phone. It's available for both. So that's one way. Second way you can go is our Facebook page is Hey Park U. We're on Twitter at HeyParkU, and the same for Instagram. So you'll be able to find us there.
Guys, check it out. Should be fun. Friends, we finally get to the cyberfishing. Cyberfishing, yeah, I pronounced it right. Look at this device, and what's your name?
My name is Igor.
He's a friend of Vitaly, our partner. We're gonna find out how does it work, and yes, I can see now, Igor. And what's the pitch?
Yeah, so that's how it looks like. Our device, small smart fishing rod sensor. You can easily attach it to any kind of your fishing rod and just go fishing as usual. It's connected to your phone via Bluetooth, and we have our special cyber fishing application, and it helps you to collect and analyze data. When you make a cast, it counts and captures all your casts automatically. It marks your catches, saves the GPS location where exactly you caught your fish. So also it analyzes all weather conditions like air pressure, humidity, temperature, clouds, wind, everything. So the main idea is to help fishermen to create his own fishing history, like a fishing diary, to see why and where they caught the fish, to analyze it.
Do you have to put every time you catch a fish, you have to say, this time I catch a fish, the other time I was just casting and I didn't catch anything?
Yes, that's true. So when you make a cast, it captures your cast automatically, and when you successfully caught a fish, you have to press the button once. So it's catch, yeah, and the device knows that it's catch and saves time, location, and all weather conditions at this moment.
Does it allow to give me a couple of notes so I can say, you know what, I cast under the rock, there is like a space for the, so next day I come back and another, let's say, pike will come to the same spot, because the pikes, if the space is available, it will come, but so I can come back next day and or a year later and I still remember that hole.
Yes, of course, all data are stored on our server, so you can always see it, analyze it, come back next time. When your hands are clean after fishing, you can add also pictures of your fish. You can add some notes, type of the fish, type of tackles that you used to analyze it for future. For example, what kind of lure you use to catch this fish.
How is it different from me just talking to my phone or making notes? Like, what's the point of buying the device? So it's attached to the rod.
Yeah, so it's more convenient, of course. First, because it counts your casts. Try to think not with positive side. Try to think with negative side. Because if you spend, for example, 20 minutes and did 50 casts and no result, you can think about it later, analyze it, and don't come back to this place anymore, for example. And second, of course, it's convenience for people, because always when you fish, your hands are wet, your hands are dirty, fishy, and you don't want to touch your new iPhone because for immediately save, you just press the button. Device is 100% waterproof, so it's okay. Yeah.
What is the Instagram? What is the social media? How they can look it up?
You can always check our website, cyberfishing.com, or on Instagram and Facebook, Cyberfishing Inc. So you can always see news.
Did you guys get a chance to apply for the Shark Tank today?
Say it again.
Have you applied for the Shark Tank auditions?
No.
Okay. Guys, check it out. It's probably quite cool. For me as a fisherman, that's maybe an interesting device. Thank you. Can you talk a little bit about your company?
Certainly. Our company is an outsourcing company for customer service. Basically, instead of outsourcing your company to a bunch of people on computers at home, we provide oversight, we provide workflows, and we are completely customizable to your business. So if a customer of ours wants us to basically... Sorry, I'm bad on camera.
Okay. How does it work? How much does it cost? What is the benefit? What do you expect to get?
So the benefit of having us versus other companies is we provide oversight. We work very closely with the companies in order to get their SOPs.
What is SOP?
Standard operating procedures. We take those standard operating procedures and we create a business, a workflow for the customers, for the reps, in order to make sure that they service the clients according to the business.
Okay. Why did you guys come here at the Tech Day to present your campaign? And it's almost over, pretty much over. What did you accomplish today?
We've accomplished getting a couple good leads in order to help people better their business. As far as being at a tech show, a lot of our business is done through technological means, such as like Zendesk is one of our main message correspondents. We also use different programs such as like Ring Central in order to make phone calls. It's a good place for when people have products that they want to market that they're going to have issues along the way. If they're shipping a product, they're going to need somebody to explain to their customers if there's any issues along the way with the shipping.
Okay. What is the social media? How people can reach out? Like, how do they find you?
Reach us out at duex.com. Basically, or you could reach us at. Hey, Albert. Do you have any other way of?
Albert Strauss. Guys, check it out. Maybe cool. Okay.